Hey dude, Flix Anonymous. I don't know, it's just awesome.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Human beings were not meant to sit in little cubicles staring at computer screens all day.
Plan B is just to keep on giving her. Like, you work hard. That's what... Is that a plan? Yeah, that's a plan right there.
The guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me. No. I am the one who knocks.
I know what you're thinking. I've kind of lost track myself. Being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, bunks?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Flix Anonymous on the Cannabis Life Network, the League of Manchildren.com, and the Daily Hive.com. I'm Steve Stebbing.
I'm Trevor Dueck.
And this is episode 43 of Flix Anonymous.
I always feel stupid doing that. I'm Trevor. Did you ever think, I'm Steve Stebbing. I'm Trevor Dueck. I think people should know by now.
Do you want your name to appear when you
Trevor Dueck. That's a little rainbow.
Aw, so cute.
Yeah.
You could be your own little brony. But yeah, this is episode 43. To continue our theme of wrestlers. Why wrestling? Because I have a podcast called BS from the Turnbuckle, and Trevor was nice enough to let me take a few episodes to plug it, basically. This is the Raven episode. What about Raven? Remember Raven?
Back in WCW.
And ECW as well.
ECW, that's right. Yeah, he had like the Ravens flock.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all like guys who they came out from like the crowd.
Well, he was from the Bowery. That's what they always said. Raven was from the Bowery. That's like his point of origin type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they always come out in the ripped jeans, the flannel. They're basically the grunge era.
They were totally there, that total Seattle grunge era.
They should have been a lot tougher than they were, especially in the era of NWO and stuff like that.
They got their ass kicked quite a bit.
Yeah. But Raven, he actually has a podcast himself too, wrestling podcast where he probably just asks, "What about Raven?"
Yeah.
You know, quote the Raven nevermore and all that other shtick he used to say.
You enjoying the pro wrestling these days, by the way, before we get to the movies?
Yeah, actually I am. I am quite a bit. But I mean, I go beyond the WWE as well. No,
you get hardcore into the wrestling now.
I'm really enjoying Broken Matt Hardy right now. I think he is the most interesting thing when it comes to pro wrestling right now. Just this persona is just insane. Absolute insanity. And just the fact that they're just they're giving him carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wants, I think is incredible. But as far as like wrestling goes, I think some of the best wrestling right now is Ring of Honor. Because I mean, it takes from New Japan and all that kind of stuff. Like there's a bunch of interesting people in there. Cody Rhodes is going there within the next couple of weeks. And then Lucha Underground, which is just insanity, straight up insanity. It's on Robert Rodriguez El Rey network.
I'm wearing ECW.
Hell yes.
Local Vancouver pro wrestling.
Yes. And two guys from ECCW, the Bollywood boys, were on the CWC and probably will have a contract with the WWE within the next 6 months.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so they looked great in their performance. Obviously, they lost in the first round, each of them, but they were against really, really good fighters. So
good wrestlers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What you gonna do, brother?
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I am definitely really enjoying the wrestling.
You are.
Some stuff more than others. Honestly, some stuff in the WWE programming has been a little bit lacking. But we have a small slate of movies this week, right?
Yeah,
so
good.
You want to grind some gears and get going?
Let's grind some gears, Steve.
All right.
Let's talk movies.
Yeah, let's talk some movies. The first movie this week is kind of the return of Clint Eastwood, who killed me with American Sniper, a movie that I absolutely hated. But this time he takes the true story of Chesley Sullenberger, a airline pilot who had to make a detour and land his plane in the Hudson River. It was called The Miracle on the Hudson. Here's a clip.
What if I did blow this?
What do you say?
What if I did get this wrong so close to the end of my career? if I endangered the lives of all those passengers?
Sully, watch the news. You're a hero. And everyone's going to have to get used to it, including the NTSB.
Worst case scenario. The NTSB lists me as the probable cause. That's immediate retirement, no pension. My life's work gone.
Okay, you're scaring me now, Sully. What is going on?
The left engine might have still been idling. And the Airbus simulations say I could have made it back to LaGuardia safely. But that doesn't make sense. Doesn't jive with everything I felt in the cockpit.
Then why did you do it, Sully?
Yeah, so just so there's no confusion, the movie is called Sully. It is about the miracle on the Hudson, which is what the media's got to make a fucking name out of it, right?
Yeah,
so this is what they chose to go with. Tom Hanks is in it as Sully. You also got Aaron Eckhart, Laura Linney, who's the wife in that scene there.
Anna Gunn.
And Anna Gunn, who almost doesn't get a lot of dialogue until like almost the end.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, right, we should give her lines.
Yeah.
And
she's from Breaking Bad. We should probably give her some lines.
We should probably give her something. She's Skylar White. We should give her something. The movie, you know what? The movie's okay. I enjoyed the movie. The movie just premiered at Telluride and got like a standing ovation. They're talking Oscars for Eastwood and for Hanks and stuff, and I don't see it. I don't see Oscar in this movie. I see a good movie. They also screened it for us in IMAX, which is...
Yeah, why was this movie shot in IMAX? When most of it was just like, it was shot in like boardrooms and like inside of hotels.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Because the plane sequence is great. Like it's a really nice looking plane sequence, and for the most part, Tom Hanks carries this entire film. Yeah, he's the reason this film's good.
Absolutely, totally agree. Tom Hanks is excellent. Is it his best performance? No, I mean Tom Hanks could be in any film. He does a great job. It's Tom Hanks doing, a guy with white hair and a mustache. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's not deep Forrest Gump like character work in this one. This one's more just like Tom Hanks with a duster and a different hair.
He's trying to be as real as possible so you can kind of feel sympathetic to what Sully went through. Here's a guy who was taken as a hero, yet was put on trial essentially because they wanted to make it human error. Even though it was a freak accident.
The groveling over insurance money was something that they tried to make him a villain. Like they tried to take down their hero, essentially.
Yeah.
Like that's what it. Yeah. And they try to smear him.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that was kind of riveting because you kind of feel sympathetic to him. And I'd like to read the book. I think it would be an interesting story for sure. The movie is one of those ones you don't have to rush out to the theater to see, and you especially don't need to go see it on IMAX. No. I really don't know why they shot it in IMAX, like I said.
It seems like a waste of time.
But it's one of those movies you can sit at home and watch and enjoy. It's a good movie. It's hard to diss the film. It's an interesting story. I just have a problem with some of the dialogue.
The script, yeah.
This dialogue was kind of cheesy at points. And overall, I mean, sure, the film's not perfect, but it's entertaining enough because it's a true story and it's such an interesting story.
Definitely. And this movie is pretty short. It's like an hour and a half, and it ends very abruptly too. It's just kind of like credits.
Which I appreciated.
Yeah.
And I was glad it was only an hour and a half. It didn't need to be longer than that.
Yeah, because you do feel some of the dialogue stretching the stuff that they put in there. They put in some backstory for Chesley as well.
Yeah, they do a little bit of that. Like they put scenes within the movie that just kind of feel like they're like cut and put in there just to kind of take up space and time.
And the backstory or the exposition on the passengers is dreadful. It's so bad.
Oh,
it's so bad.
The golfing guys.
Oh, there's
And Aaron Eckhart has a really nice mustache.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Well manicured. Like it's like when you admire a really nice lawn. It's kind of like that. You're just like, man, I'm jealous.
So where are you sitting on this one?
I'm at a 3.5 on this one.
Yeah, I think that's solid. 3.5 out of 5.
It's not Oscar worthy. Like if this one's going to be in the Oscar picture coming next year, it means that we haven't had a great year in movies, which
we haven't really.
So I don't know. Like as we get closer to Oscar season, if this one's still at the top of the pile, I'm going to have a few questions, I
I'd
think.
be surprised.
Yeah. I don't know why it's being touted so much. Maybe because Clint is 86 years old.
Maybe it's because I think it's something to do with that. You know, Clint hasn't had a good movie for a while either.
But American Sniper was all over the board with all these award nominations.
Propaganda!
Yeah, I know. But anybody could have directed this movie. I will say that.
Okay.
I will say that.
There you go, yeah. 3.5 out of 5s.
And is that what you're landing?
Yeah, let's do that.
So 88% Rotten Tomatoes, 76 in Metascore. That might fluctuate between, probably today when you look at it, might be a little different. Alrighty, so let's move on to the next film. This is an animated film that was made in Europe. It was called Robinson Crusoe when it was made in Europe. But then they redubbed it with actors you've never heard of and released it in North America as The Wildlife. Take a look.
Really?
Land, sweet land. Oh, it's so good to be alive, Ainsley.
Bob, your uncle, sea monsters walking on land?
Uh-oh, we're in big trouble.
Only one thing has 2 legs, a bird. And that ain't no bird I've ever seen.
Yeah, he can't even fly.
That monster is going to eat Carmelo.
What's going on, Ainsley?
We gotta do something. Now, hurry, make as much noise as you can.
Very much, right?
We have to scare those sea monsters off.
Come back here, Ainsley. Stay close together. We don't know what's
Mark
out
pointed
there.
out this guy looks like Domhnall Gleeson.
Ainsley, what's that noise? Cannibals! Ainsley, cannibals! We have to get off this island! Sailor warned us! Skin us alive and eat us! Hurry, old boy! They're coming for us! Get inside the boat! Go, boy! Go! There! Yes. Guys! What are you doing?
Scaring off the sea monsters, thank you very much.
And what if they aren't sea monsters?
Did you see the furry one's teeth?
What are you showing the entire movie?
Yeah, I was. There's no short clips in this, and the trailer's longer. So yeah, that's a long one. So yeah, animated film. It makes me sad for literature in North America that they're like, no one's gonna understand what the hell Robinson Crusoe is. So let's just call it The Wildlife.
Yeah.
You know, no one reads books. Who the fuck reads literature anymore?
Yeah,
Who knows
kidding.
anybody, like Treasure Island, anything.
Well,
like
just rename it.
Just rename
Repackage
it. Put nobodies in it. You know, the animation's not terrible. We've seen worse this year. Norm of the North was definitely worse. Far worse. This movie, it's nothing more than a thrill ride for the kids. It's 3D. There's a lot of like hardcore Henry's like sort of POV stuff in this film. I mean, it's a fluff film. It's you know, a 1.5, 2 out of 5. I'm going to soapbox a little bit right now because I found out something today that really, really bothers me.
Grinds your gears.
That grinds my gears. And thank you. And this is the fact that, you know, we have all these computer animated movies that do get the audiences to go to them all the time. Well, I just kind of found out today that Kubo and the Two Strings has underperformed so badly right now, and it's an incredible film. It's underperformed so badly that Leica might be folding.
What?
Yeah, Leica might be bankrupt.
Oh no, that's
so we
terrible.
lost traditional stop motion. If you've ever seen a video of all these people working behind the scenes on a movie like Kubo, it's so sad.
And it's such a great film.
It just makes me so sad.
Yeah,
like, it really does. And then something like this comes out and it gets dumbed down for American audiences because, I mean...
And Canadian audiences.
And Canadian audiences because we don't know what Robinson Crusoe is. I mean, we still need tassels put on fans in live action movies, just signal air blowing and all this kind of shit. Because it's all dumbed down for the lowest common denominator. And we get, I mean, how many computer animated films have we gotten this year? Like,
way too many.
Yeah, and then how many stop motion animated films?
1.
And nobody went to go see it.
And you should. And when it's available on VOD, and I don't know if it's in theater in your new town.
It still is in theaters right now.
If it's in theater in your town, go see Kubo and Two Strings.
Yeah. Over this, 100% over this. This is a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Metascore hasn't even touched it. They're like, we don't even care. So that shows you exactly where people are siding.
This will be somebody's child's babysitter, though.
That's exactly it.
Because not the marijuana, the trailer.
Yes, it is just a tantalizing thrill ride, kind of like
the movie, I should say. It's going to be that's about it. Lots of babysitters for kids.
Yeah, that's about it. All right, so let's move to the third and final of the wide releases. We still got one limited release. This is out from Sony Pictures. So do you think they screened it for us?
No.
Nah. But this is Regina King and Morris Chestnut, and Theo Rossi's in there somewhere. This is called When the Bough Breaks. Take a look.
Anna, we'd like you
I
to
like
stay
Theo
here
Rossi.
with us.
Me too. I think he's the villain in this one.
Yeah.
We'd like you to take some time off of work. We'll pay you whatever you were making.
We'll get your car so you don't feel trapped. You
Or
can
one of the villains.
come and go as you please.
Are you serious?
Yes, we talked about it. And we just feel more comfortable knowing that you're here, at least most of the time.
Oh, make sure you get that hashtag in there.
Now you
Yeah.
are doing
Because you want to promote
When the bough breaks.
When the bough breaks.
That's a big
like,
hashtag.
You're like, I want everyone to know that I saw this movie in theaters.
What wife would be okay having some very attractive young lady living with them? Sure. It's like those celebrities that get the nannies that are super hot and they're always surprised when their husband cheats on them with the nanny.
You know, they go down the same path all the time in making these type of films. I mean, that title right there reminds you of the 90s film with Rebecca De Mornay, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Then this is also combined a bit with that Beyonce movie from a few years ago, Obsessed, with her and Idris Elba, where they're married, and then Ali Larter, the blonde, comes in and tries to this is my man, and tries to like break them up and stuff. Well, this one, you have the surrogate mother. That's the young girl there. She's carrying a baby for this couple, and then she becomes dangerously obsessed with Morris Chestnut's character, and murderous situations ensue and blah blah blah.
She goes a little crazy.
Yeah, there's obviously reason why Sony never screened this for us, because it's fucking crap. It's just they spent probably 50-60 million on it, and it's shit. It's just a piece of shit.
No.
So I mean, does that scene even give you any inkling to want to see that movie?
I don't know. We talked over it.
I know, right? Because we're that bored. We're just like, hey, look
when
at
you watch the
hashtag.
trailer, it looks intriguing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like straight to VOD to me.
It looks like an episode. It looks like the underlying story of an episode of Law and Order.
Yeah,
that's what it fucking looks
exactly.
like. Exactly. Who cares? Who cares? And why even put that in theaters? Why not just go right to VOD? Like, it bothers me that will go into theaters, and a movie like Imperium or something will go VOD.
Yeah.
So it's just, who cares? There's no reviews on this one yet because the embargo is right till 6 a.m. on opening day.
They just don't want the reviews.
They don't want anybody talking about this movie.
Please, nobody review this movie. Don't review it.
Don't.
We'll just put it out there.
Yeah.
People will go.
Hope for the best, everybody. It's kind of like taking off the seatbelt and waiting for the car crash. All right, so let's get I have a limited release.
Or landing
here.
a plane in the Hudson.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Just trust Sully on this one. Playing limited in Vancouver, you're going to want to go to the Event Theater, which is Park Avenue. This is an event movie. This is a documentary that a son made about his father. This is For the Love of Spock. Take a look.
There was an interview in 16 magazine, I think it was the spring of 67, and somehow, accidentally, they published our home address as the mailing address for the fan mail. Within days, the mailman stopped coming. It was a truck that arrived with sacks of mail. And we were answering it. It came into our dining room. We had our dining room table all set up with the mail that we opened, and we stuffed envelopes with this early Spock promo picture. It was one of our family activities, was answering fan mail.
Personal life was gone.
Yeah, it started happening very fast, and to show you how naive I was, at that time I still had my phone listed in the phone book and my address, and it was all, I'd never dreamed that there was going to be that kind of impact, because I'd been on television before, been in movies before, and I was listed in the phone book. It didn't matter to me.
We started getting a lot of fan mail, not only fan mail, but fans coming to our door, knocking down the door.
We started getting people driving by the house and parking and ripping at the shrubbery to have a souvenir, and taking my grass and my leaves and whatever. What? Some of them would knock on the door and ask to be invited in to visit.
It got really crazy. Yeah, it got really crazy for a while.
What about when you came back to Boston during the Star Trek years?
Yeah, that was kind of exciting and a little difficult. People were following me on the street, and I didn't really want people to know where I was living. I was staying with my folks, with your grandparents.
Right.
And they didn't have any idea what Star Trek was. They didn't get it. All they knew was something had happened.
Well, how did they react when they saw your haircut?
My dad actually thought I was wearing a wig. He had a picture of me as Spock up on the wall in the barber shop, and kids would come in and say, I want a Spock haircut.
When it comes to me in film documentaries and TV documentaries and everything, like I'm automatically won over, but this goes so much further than that because this is a pop culture phenomenon. Spock, not just Star Trek in general, but the character of Spock is such a massive piece of pop culture and everything that's come from sci-fi and character acting within sci-fi and stuff, and that this movie encompasses it so beautifully. I think
I haven't seen it yet. I'm dying to see it because really I'm a Star Trek guy for sure. I like science fiction, and rest in peace to Leonard Nimoy. He's going to be missed, and I think it's just such an interesting story. Let's just listen to him talk about how fame all of a sudden just kind of came onto him really fast. He had been in shows before, but could have his name in the phone book, and have an address, and then all of a sudden people are coming to steal his leaves.
Just not, exactly.
Getting a piece of him, I'll get the grass. I got Leonard Nimoy's grass, everybody.
I got some of his sod. And that's crazy. And then the other aspect that this documentary adds to it is the portrait of a father made by a son that didn't see eye to eye for most of their time together.
Really?
Because they were estranged for a long time.
Let me guess. Is it because of how he was always gone?
That's partially it, and then Adam Nimoy also kind of went into, like, in the 70s and 80s and went into a different sort of direction with his life and everything. Deadhead, and became more involved in that scene and everything, and just kind of it didn't gel with Leonard at all, right? So they were actually pretty estranged up into the late 2000s.
Wow.
Even so, this documentary was like a reconnection tool for him as well, which is very touching and very sweet. So I adored this film, not just, of course, for its pop culture reason, but also its humanity within, and to show what kind of a human being that Leonard Nimoy was. Especially like when they do a free word association with what does Leonard Nimoy mean to you, and that part just that really got me. Yeah. Definitely. So this one is you're gonna love this, Trevor. This one's a 5.
Oh!
I'm hoping for the Star Trek sound when we.
There we go.
There we go. So that one's a 5. If you're a Trekkie, you have to see this movie.
Very limited.
Very, very limited. So this is an event film. You're gonna want to go check this one out right away. And even if you're not, but you're just like a pop culture junkie, you will love this film.
An event film means it's probably only playing at one theater for one showing?
One theater. I believe this gets a week.
Okay.
I believe this gets a week, but yeah, you're going to want to check this one out.
Nice, man.
Yeah, because then it goes onto the VOD and movie channels and all that kind of stuff. But,
okay.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. All right, so we have a one VOD review, and this is from our friends at VVS that sent me the Blu-ray for this one. This is a multitude of people, this one including Pierce Brosnan, Justin Chatwin, Danny Masterson, Ashley Greene. This is kind of like a drug thriller. The film is called Urge. Take a look.
Great. Wait. There is one more thing we have to discuss. We need to discuss the rule.
Rules?
Not rules. Rule. There's only one. But, it's a doozy.
Supposedly, it blows the doors off of anything you've done before. And there's no hangover. Wow. And it's perfect. But you only have one shot. You can only do it once.
Wait, you mean once tonight?
No, like once ever.
What? That doesn't make any sense. I've never heard of any shit like that before.
Stupid. Jesus, Joey, can you spell addict? We haven't even tried it yet.
It sounds kind of sketch.
I tried it. What?
And?
You guys try it. And tell me, I don't think it's really kicked in yet, but it's supposed to be some next level shit.
Yeah.
So, who told you this one-time rule?
I mean...
Do you know, something tells me not everyone's following that rule.
You guys do what you want. I'm just telling you what they told me.
Oh.
All right. So basically, Danny Masterson is a mega rich dude who gathers a bunch of his friends, fly out to an island to have a basically crazy party.
Yeah.
They go to this. They go to a club, and Pierce Brosnan's there, and he has this drug called Urge, which is this weird glow-in-the-dark vial thing that you snort. But basically, it. I guess it just does away with all your inhibitions and just makes everything come to the surface, but you're only allowed to do it once. Well, of course, what happens?
They do it more than
once. They do it more than once, and things start to spiral out of control. Then this film starts to get very aggressive, very amped up, and then like gets super gory.
Nice.
Like it gets crazy. It gets like Sodom and Gomorrah crazy.
Oh.
You know, it's like a direct to VOD or whatever. I kind of thought this movie was kind of interesting. I think it's worth a watch when it hits Netflix or when you see it on VOD and you just want like a quick hour-and-a-half thriller. It is written by Jerry Stahl, who wrote Bad Boys 2.
Okay.
It was an interesting film, neat young cast. One of the cast members, a comedian named Nick Thune, who I never saw as more than a comedian, but now he's very dark in this movie, so I thought that was interesting. Huh. Comedians seem to be able to tap into a dark.
Oh yeah, they can.
A dark spot. I mean, we saw it with Robin
Williams. Gotta be a crazy
Williams.
motherfucker to be a comedian.
Seen a lot of things. Louis C.K. is very dark as well. So, yeah, I thought it was interesting. So I'm settling on like a 3, like a lower 3.
Entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining, and it was a nice distraction for an hour-and-a-half.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I love stuff like that.
Urge. You're gonna find that one on your shelves, on your VOD, and probably on Netflix in the next 3 months, I'll say.
All right.
Alrighty, so now, speaking of Netflix and VOD, let's get into some Netflix and VOD recommendations. All right, so I like Tilda Swinton. I think she's an interesting actress. She picks interesting roles, and there's her and an Italian director made a movie called I Am Love a handful of years back, and they brought out a brand new film this year, A Bigger Splash. It's her, Matthias Schoenaerts, Dakota Johnson, and Ralph Fiennes. It's a very highly rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe it's 89% certified. The movie is called A Bigger Splash. Take a look.
When are you finishing yours?
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah, of course. Lost Dogs, American Journalism in the 21st Century. You showed me that amazing Cronkite interview.
Yeah.
What? You're not giving that up too, are you? You shot all that footage, what is it? Just lying in a drawer somewhere?
Actually, it's in a closet. 5 hard drives, but that can wait.
Yeah, well, adjust your goals, not the world.
Is that the same advice you'd give Penn?
No. She's young, but she should change the world any chance she gets. I think the women should change things now anyway. We've had our chance.
Damn straight.
Yeah. So the movie, Tilda Swinton plays a singer, like a very avant-garde singer, kind of like Florence and the Machine, or like Florence and the Machine mixed with like David Bowie, like very avant-garde. She's at her summer home in Italy with her boyfriend, which is Matthias Schoenaerts, because she just had vocal surgery and she needs to be in complete silence. Like she can't speak at all, or it may end her career. But everything kind of gets a little bit rocky when her ex-boyfriend and former manager, played by Ralph Fiennes, Harry, arrives with his newly discovered and highly sexual daughter, Dakota Johnson's character.
Oh no.
And ends up pushing everybody's buttons, and tensions start to rise and stuff, but it's also got really great conversation in it, and really interesting conversation. Like these people are at least Ralph Fiennes' character and Tilda Swinton are supposed to be so embedded in the music scene, so they have like interesting stories about recording with the Rolling Stones and like all this kind of stuff. Like there's some interesting backstories to it all.
Right.
The film is so gorgeous, and it doesn't go in the directions that you think it's going to go in, and I think it's a very effective drama with a little tinge of thriller to it. I really dig this movie.
And so that's on VOD.
Yes.
You can get it on the old iTunes machine.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Good, man. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna
yeah.
pick it.
I don't think a lot of people saw it.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like those obscure little gems.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, I'm going Netflix on this one, and I'm going Legend. It stars Tom Hardy. And
not Tom Cruise.
No, not Tom Cruise. Not the unicorn one. It stars Tom Hardy and that other actor you might know of, Tom Hardy.
Oh.
And Emily Browning.
Yes.
Yes, and it's about the Kray brothers, the notorious gangsters of East London. Here's a clip.
Who are you?
Francis. Frank's sister.
Hang about, I recognise you actually, I recognise you. You was a little bit younger then, you all grown up, didn't you?
It happens.
What you got there?
Sweet.
That's not any sweet, is it? That's the lemon sherbet, that is. Mind if I have a crack?
All right.
Me? Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
You're not supposed to chew it.
No. How else am I supposed to get to the sherbety bit?
By being patient.
Nah. Being patient doesn't get you what you want, does it?
Huh. So, true story about the Kray brothers, Ronnie and Reggie Kray. And as you see, Tom Hardy plays both of them. That's why we say Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And he's really, honestly, one of the best parts of this movie. His performance is fantastic. He plays two different brothers. Basically, you've got Reggie, who kind of... Is Reggie the crazy one?
No, Ronnie's the crazy one.
Ronnie's the crazy one, right. Yeah. So Reggie's the straight one that we just saw there.
Yeah.
Kind of just very business-oriented, wants to... At some point, is thinking about kind of going straight or getting more legitimate businesses.
More business intimidation.
Yeah, he just wasn't wanting to go the route of Ronnie, who is a little bit nuts and basically runs things to shit. And just is, actually, I think he was considered certified crazy.
He's schizophrenic, yeah.
And so when Ronnie would go to jail, when Reggie would go to jail, Ronnie would go nuts and basically ruin the business. Really cool movie. I liked it. It's there's some problems with it, obviously, a few problems. The soundtrack. When you told me about the score for this film,
I think I ruined it.
The first time we watched it, and then when I watched it again the other day on Netflix, I couldn't get that out of my head. Oh my God,
I put an earworm
is
in you.
terrible.
Yeah, I put a thought in your head, and you're just
I
like,
couldn't stand it because I didn't really notice it. It didn't really stand out to me the first time. I was so into the film, but yeah, now when you watch it, the score is like BBC special. It's something like some guy with a saxophone.
That warbling trumpet. You're just
the
like,
trumpet. Yeah,
are you fucking serious?
Yeah. It's actually, believe it or not, it's the highest grossing rated R film in Britain history. It beat out Trainspotting.
Wow.
So it did get a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
And
until Trainspotting 2.
Right now on Netflix, it seems to be the month of Tom Hardy because every one of his films seems to be on Netflix this
that
month.
Revenant as well.
Revenant, and it's speaking of Revenant, Tom Hardy and Paul Anderson, who are in this, are actually both in The Revenant as well, and they're both in Peaky Blinders.
Nice.
So they've done a lot of work together. And so Tom Hardy produced it. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie to watch. If you like the gangster period pieces, it's good. If you like Peaky Blinders, movies like that, it's a true story. Now, you were telling me sort of before we came on that there's actually another Craze movie out there.
Yeah, there was one that I believe was made at the end of the 80s. It's a Universal film as well because Legend was distributed by Universal. But this has the guy, I forgot their name, it's Martin and something. They're twins. They were in a new wave group called Spandau Ballet, who had that song True.
Yeah.
They play the Craze, and the movie is called The Craze. So Krays, Craze.
Yeah, I love the gangster flicks.
Yeah, me too. And British gangster flicks always get me.
For sure.
Always get me. Yeah.
So yeah, give that one a little bit of a try. It's on Netflix right now.
Awesome. All right. So we move from our Netflix and VOD recommendations to give you a little bit of what's going on in the news in Hollywood right now.
Hello, and welcome back to another exciting news flash from Flix Anonymous. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Cannabis Love Network. Keeping cannabis in your life.
Alrighty, so Guardians of the Galaxy has the Volume 2 is wrap production by now. All filming is done. Now they're in the next stage. So, you know, Tyler Bates is busy putting the score together. Of course, ILM's definitely doing all the special effects and everything. But one thing that needs to be done is the voicing of Groot by Vin Diesel. And James Gunn, the director and writer of the film, has teased the recording with Vin Diesel by showing the top page of Vin Diesel's script. And now, when you're thinking about Groot, you're thinking the script is just going to be I am Groot over and over again in the script. That's not exactly the case. What is there is what Groot is trying to say through I am Groot, and Vin Diesel gives it that inflection of what he's saying.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which is my point of kind of saying that, isn't that an interesting actor? Like, isn't that give you more faith in Vin Diesel as a voice actor, that he's able to kind of put emotion and context into 3 words?
Okay.
I just think that's really kind of interesting.
Have you seen The Iron Giant?
Yes, which is excellent. I think people forget.
Vin Diesel did a great job in Iron Giant as well.
Exactly.
As voice actor. He's got that voice, you know, that distinctive voice that makes it work. So.
Yeah, and apparently he had a very adverse emotional reaction to it as well. He got very emotional about the script. So, how excited are you for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at this point?
Oh, dude! I mean, come on! It's one of the most anticipated movies since Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Well, we didn't even know how anticipated Guardians of the Galaxy was.
No, but since we watched it, now we can't wait to see the second one.
Yeah,
and it's next year.
Yeah, exactly. It's so close, but so far, so close. Rogue One's closer though.
That's kind of interesting though that they did that with the script. It kind of proves that, you know, it's not just Vin Diesel saying I'm Groot.
Exactly.
And you know, they can't just go back and use some of his old audio of I'm Groot and put it in the
There's
film.
no recycling. There's no recycling. And I think Vin Diesel is one of those actors that catches a bad rap, but I think this is kind of something that would elevate him into a good...
I just wish he'd stop doing those Fast and Furious movies. That's all I care about.
Those aren't going to be stopping.
Oh,
Those won't be stopping. All right, so I'm going to take a pull quote right now.
Okay.
I would rather cut my wrists than play James Bond again. Daniel Craig said that last year.
Cha-ching. Cha-ching.
$150 million this man was offered to do 2 more Bond movies. Is he going to retract the statement about him cutting his wrists for that and take $150 million? I probably would, even if the movie was shit.
You know what, though?
Right?
$150 million could definitely stitch up those wounds that you've cut your wrist with.
And make it look like you never did it.
You could buy a whole new hand.
Yeah. You could buy 8 new hands. You could just have just a house of hands.
Okay, now he says he was misquoted.
Yeah.
I don't know how
do you misquote that? Yeah, honestly. Yeah, right? But it's crazy.
I know. It's something tells me that there was some posturing at play here.
Yeah, I would say so.
If you're his agent.
And why are you saying that during the promotion of your movie?
Yeah, you know, maybe he was just tired of it. But after a couple of years, people have been saying, "Oh, maybe Daniel Craig will jump back in again." How could you turn down that kind of money?
You're gonna be crazy. I mean, he's newly married to Rachel Weisz in the last few years and stuff, and
he's got a family to support.
He's got a family, so yeah, why the hell not? And it's really funny that this offer drops. Especially when they've been talking about Tom Hiddleston for a bit and all these other...
Aiden Turner's been thrown around.
Yeah, it's just like all these different actors.
Tom Hardy's been thrown around. See, when I watched Legend, actually, funny enough, my wife said, "Oh, he would make a really good James Bond."
Yeah, you know what? In his facial features and stuff, he looks a little too rough to me to be Bond. But... you know.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston would be all right, too.
I think Tom Hiddleston would be really good. And if anyone's seen The Night Manager, you can kind of extrapolate that he'd be a really good choice. But, you know, he's getting over his fake relationship with Taylor Swift right now. So
I wonder how much he got paid for that, eh?
Probably a lot of money, because that relationship, they're acting like it's real, but that relationship was fucking phony. You can just see it looks as flimsy as cardboard. It was so bad.
Yeah.
All right, so our third one, Mel Gibson's Hacksaw Ridge has had its premiere. It premiered in Venice and got a 10-minute standing ovation after the film. And I'm going to say this, as much as Hollywood and everybody else is supposed to, shake their finger and hate Mel Gibson, the guy makes really good movies.
Makes freaking amazing movies.
Makes such good movies.
And then he disses really bad movies.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said about Batman versus Superman?
A piece of shit.
He called it a piece of shit.
Oh,
God bless you, Mel Gibson.
Thank you, Mel. Because I think Hacksaw No, Hacksaw. I was going to say Hacksaw Ridge might be Warner Brothers, but I don't think it is.
I think God has blessed Mel Gibson.
Maybe. Maybe. This is some iffy territory we're getting into. Yeah. But as far as a filmmaker goes, and as far as an actor goes, I enjoy Mel Gibson. I always have.
Yes.
Always have.
Sure. He got drunk one night and said
sugar tits. And,
and some stuff about the Jews. Who doesn't do that on a Saturday night when they're drunk? I mean, really. I mean, it's tough to ignore that, you know what I'm saying? But, he had a substance abuse problem.
Well, Ricky Gervais made that joke at the Golden Globes.
Did he?
About that he said some stuff, and Mel Gibson came out and he goes, I don't know who that guy was.
Yeah, and he actually, he handled that really well.
I think he did. He did. He's been handling the anger very well, I think, in the last little bit. And directing it where it needs to go. Hence, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah. So. Are you excited about Hacksaw Ridge?
So excited.
I am now all of a sudden too.
What I heard is the movie is kind of split up. The first part's kind of about Andrew Garfield's character's faith and the reasoning behind what he's doing and everything, because he becomes a pacifist in the war. He doesn't want to kill anybody, so he has no weapons and everything in this war.
But he's a medic, right?
But he's also a medic as well.
Yeah.
The first part of the movie is kind of about his stance in life and everything, and then I heard that the next part is the war and the violent Mel Gibson
violence.
Yeah,
and he likes authenticity to everything.
Yes,
his fight scenes, everything. He's not a big CGI guy.
No.
He hates CGI, so he everything's very authentic. It'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah, so
what this movie's gonna look like.
I think we get it in November. I think so.
Yes, it's coming out soon.
So I'm excited for this one, and that one just makes me even more excited.
It'd be hilarious if he got an Oscar nomination.
That would just change everything around.
I don't think he. I would be curious if he would.
If Sully gets the nomination over Hacksaw Ridge, we have probably problems then. We haven't seen the movie yet, though, so I can't fully back that up. But
last year
Clint over Mel.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's a tough call. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when it comes in November. All right, so we're almost ready to get out of here and wrap up the show. But before we do that, we like to relax, light up, and give you our stoner picks. All right, so I was going through the Netflix queue, and I noticed something brand new on there, and I was like, oh yeah, man, this is a really great throwback. See, because, in the start of the YouTube era and all that kind of stuff, I got really hooked on on viral videos called Camp Kill Yourself, shortened down to CKY, which was Bam Margera and his crew kind of just doing crazy, stupid stunts, stupid sketches, all this kind of stuff, and just rolled up into one. All these Westchester, Pennsylvania kids doing whatever the hell they want, which actually included Baron Corbin, who's a WWE superstar now.
Yeah.
And they went on to get a big contract with MTV. They had a great guy who was really unknown at the time named Johnny Knoxville to be their host and their leader, and they became Jackass. And then they made 1 movie, 2 movies, and 3 movies, and that 3rd movie is now on Netflix. Take a look at a scene.
You haven't seen this one?
I've seen it. I just said, oh man, because it's Ryan Dunn.
That's a tame stunt compared to what they normally do.
Well, a lot of the other sequences are clips are 4 minutes.
It's funny. They're getting older now too, so it's hard for them to do that shit.
It is, but do you know what? If you look at IMDb, Jackass 4 is listed.
Really?
As 2017.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez.
So
speaking of shit, there was a scene with the outhouse.
The Pooh. Oh, there's that. There's also the Pooh volcano. There's a bunch of stuff because me and my fiance at the time went to go see it in 3D in theaters.
Yeah.
And there's some sequences in that we were like, oh, okay, I think we might be out. This movie is just straight up insanity. It is turn your brain off and laugh your ass off. I picked a scene there with random hero himself, Ryan Dunn, who passed away a handful of years ago in a car accident. This this movie's just fun. It's just so much fun, and there's no intellect behind it. It's just fun, really.
It's yeah. There's definitely no intellect behind it.
Zero intellect, but it's just pure fun. It's stoner fun.
You gotta be completely ripped and pretty much
like couch lock, like you're laying down couch lock,
and like teenager mentality to really enjoy that.
Yeah, let's diminish some brain cells on this one.
I'm gonna bring some sophistication to our stoner flick, Steve.
Yeah.
Because last week was Danger 5, so this week I don't know about you, but when I get baked, sometimes I like watching the National Geographic channel or like I like watching nature stuff, like, nature shows.
Oh, for sure.
So I remember when this came out, it was called Planet Earth. And it was the Blu-ray, and it was right around the time where HD was a big thing, right? Mm-hmm. And you had David Attenborough who narrated it.
Oh man, I love his voice.
He's a great. I can't do David Attenborough.
Never mind. Not even gonna try.
But Sigourney Weaver did also narrated it for the American version. Here in Canada, we got the David Attenborough version. It's 11 episodes. I think each one's about 55 minutes long. It was 5 years to make. They go through everything. They go through the polar mountains, the caves, deserts, plains, everywhere around the world. That's just fantastic places to look at. They watch nature. Lions, tigers, bears, oh my, whales.
Whales!
Every single creature you could think of.
Even the wallaby.
Basically, it's a visually stunning nature show. It's one of the best nature movies I think we've ever seen. And I caught a clip so we can see a little bit of Planet Earth.
I love their slow-mo stuff. The HD cameras they had to operate with. The one on like lines and stuff.
That's one of my favorites. Great shirt. Great legs jumping.
Yeah, this is a really good program.
Oh man. Yeah, the cave stuff.
Yeah. Cave's my favorite episode, I think. Especially the huge pile of shit. The massive pile of shit with the bat cave.
Yes.
Awesome. And the birds.
Yeah.
The weird dancing bird that looks like a happy face. Oh, that's sick. That's so
I love it.
Nice.
And it's what's great about it is after each episode, there's a little featurette that shows you how they got these shots. And man, they spend a lot of time and energy to get the perfect shots.
Something that astounded me was planes. When they're just two guys laying under a thing for days.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a hunt or, a migration or anything like that. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, and so I remember when this was like in HD. Oh my God, it's so visually stunning. It's in HD. Give it a try, man. If you have it, buy it on Blu-ray. If it might even be on Netflix or VOD.
I'm not sure.
Actually,
yeah.
Yeah, it's well worth the time to smoke a joint and watch nature shows.
Yeah,
gives you a whole appreciation for our world.
Definitely. And then if you go beyond that, Blue Planet, which is like about the oceans.
Another one,
like
yeah,
really nice one as well. Yeah, anything time BBC gets into nature, you're guaranteed to have something
Disney's
really
kind of copied it a little bit as well with their Disney nature stuff, which is pretty solid.
But they do more features.
They do it more of like a story based on like whatever creature that they're following.
I still haven't seen Monkey Kingdom yet.
Monkey Kingdom's pretty good.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one.
Another one to get big too.
Yeah,
for sure.
No doubt.
I'm a guy who was raised on Lauren Green's Wild Kingdom.
Hell yes.
Yes.
Hell yes.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. But he
and the Battlestar Galactica.
Mm-hmm. But but yeah, nature shows.
Awesome. That's and the Netflix has kind of got such a wicked lineup of all that kind of shit. Well, that brings us to a shorter release week episode of Flix Anonymous. This was episode 43, the Why Not Raven or What About Raven episode.
I can't wait till it's my turn.
I know it's coming. It's coming.
Good pick though, Raven.
Thank you. I thought so. I almost should have sat here sulking for a little bit to make it a real Raven episode. But of course, you can find our show on the Cannabis Life Network. We have the 420 golf tournament coming out on September 11th, so check out CLN for that as well. We're on the leagueofmanchildren.com. We're also on the Daily Hive as well. And you can follow me on Twitter at the Stevil Dead.
I'm on Twitter at Trevor Dueck.
And what do we got going on next week? Well, we just got 5 movies next week. 3 of them in wide release. Bridget Jones making her return.
Oh, good.
The Blair Witch is coming back. What? This is crazy. And then NSA's biggest worry gets his own biopic.
We don't say his name here.
No, we don't. No.
Be careful when you talk about that.
Triangulation and all that stuff. There's a documentary about the touring years of the Fab Four, and then a Canadian drama with Sharon Carter from Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
And that's about it from all of us here at Flix Anonymous. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, you crazy cinephiles. Thanks for listening to Flix Anonymous. We can be heard weekly on fancitybuzz.com and leagueofmanchildren.com. Feel free to send us nasty and abusive social media messages on Twitter at FlixAnon. If you need more characters to tell us how much we suck, you can find Flix Anonymous on Facebook. Until next week, may your weed be sticky and your scotch be hoppy.